Welcome to the Binge List. I am your host, Paul Chapo, and I am recapping The Boys Season 2. What episode is this? 5? Yes, 5. We Gotta Go Now is the name of the episode, and you're going to be shocked. I did not like it very much. I think this was the least entertaining episode they've done in a long time. I got a feeling they're not following the comic books because they have all this stuff with Stormfront. And as you know, or as I mentioned in the last show, Stormfront is a man in the comic book. So I think they made some changes. I think they made some changes to Black Noir too, because I did some research on him. I really want to know what his powers are because I don't really understand the powers of all the heroes in this show. I still don't know what Queen Maeve does. I know she's bulletproof. That's about it. I know she's a great fighter, but beyond that, I don't know. So I've been doing a little bit of research, but yeah, I didn't like this episode. It had a lot of pacing problems. Let me not get too deep down that hole yet. If you haven't watched it yet, light spoilers ahead. So the first thing we see is that the Seven is making a movie and Maeve is in the first shot of the show, revealing that she is once again gay. I guess they're playing that up in this movie because, as you know, Homelander outed her in the last episode and she's dealing with the blowback from that. She really couldn't do anything about it because Homelander is so controlling. She fears for her life, and more importantly, she fears for the life of her girlfriend. Maeve probably has the most interesting story in this episode. Billy Butcher kind of did, and I say kind of did because, look, he decides early in the episode that he's going to Argentina. He's going to give up this fight. The only thing he really wanted back in his life was his wife. And she's not coming back. He's ready to give up, but I didn't feel any tension because we know he's not going to give up. We know somehow the team is going to get him to come back because he's basically the main character. I know Huey was kind of set up as kind of the main character, but really it's Billy Butcher. So I didn't see this plot line going anywhere. It got a little bit more interesting when we see that Black Noir has tracked him to his aunt's house, but nothing really happens. You know, I mean, I was expecting more. They do some cool things to kind of slow Black Noir down, but ultimately the fight that they have with him was not as epic as I was expecting, and the resolution was not that great. Billy Butcher basically threatens to expose Voight with some pictures, and it's like, I don't really even know if that would have worked in reality because so many things have been already exposed by Voight, the Compound V. If they didn't go down after the Compound V revelation, they're not going down. I mean, maybe they are a little bit upset about protecting Homelander, but still, I don't feel that threat warranted them not killing Billy Butcher. So I was kind of disappointed in that whole scenario. A few other things happened. A-Train is still trying to get back on the team. He had that little scene with Stormfront. Is it just me or is it Stormfront becoming a lot less interesting than she was at the beginning? It's like the more I find out about her, the less I want to know. She's kind of a one-note character. She's changing things, causing trouble for Homelander, really causing trouble for the whole company because she keeps kind of accusing the company of being heartless. And I don't know where Voight sees this going. I don't know how this helps their company. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, people who are racist are really one-note type of one-dimensional characters. So with Stormfront, I was kind of interested in her when I didn't know much about her, but she seems too smart to be a racist is what I'm getting at. She's just a little bit too smart for this, especially being as old as she supposedly is. So I think they're kind of messing up with this character, and things progress at a rapid pace because, big spoiler, her and Homelander have sex after she fixes this problem that Homelander created when he killed a bystander on camera. And I was like, wow, they should at least have dragged that out till like the next season, unless Stormfront is not going to be around for next season. Maybe she's going to die at some point, so they have to speed up the plot a little bit. I can see that happening. But yeah, I feel like I'm like, they already resolved the whole mystery of where his Billy Butcher's wife is located. I thought they could have done a couple more episodes about that. It would have been much more interesting if that information didn't just land in Billy Butcher's lap and he had to figure out. Remember when he's writing all the little ideas, the details he's trying to remember when he wakes up about where his wife is? It would have been so great if he was able to piece that together and figure out where she was located. That would have been so much better than what they're doing. We've seen them do so much better with this show. Oh, what else happened this episode? There's only a couple more things. Maybe Starlight investigating Stormfront. But that's going to lead me to one of the Easter eggs. I saw about, I would say, 14 Easter eggs in this episode. So let's go through them and then we'll be done with this episode. And hopefully next week we'll get a better one.
Hey, Marty, play that back, please.
You enjoying this?
Yeah. This new Joss rewrite really sings, huh?
Okay, so here's the first Easter egg. The Josh that they mentioned is Josh Whedon, the same director of the Justice League and Avengers and all that jazz. If you're a Marvel fan, you already know who he is. So let's move on. In this shot, we see Homelander sitting in one of his chairs, and we see on the back of the chair it says Dawn of the Seven. That is obviously a ripoff of Dawn of Justice, Batman vs. Superman, which was the movie that came out before Justice League. Okay, this scene had about 3 Easter eggs. First one is basically just branding. All this branding in this store. The first one we see is this. The frozen peas with the vault symbol and Homelander on it. It must have burned Billy Butcher having to use this to help his swelling. The next one is here. We see the Voight Fresh Farm. So I guess Voight is in the produce business. Okay, whatever. Here is Queen Maeve, and she has some kind of perfume that's being advertised. In this shot, we see that Starlight has some kind of skin cream. So yes, there's just about 4 Easter eggs in this one scene. This scene is interesting. I think it's the first time we've seen Mother's Milk not wear some kind of music group shirt. He's wearing a Dr. J shirt. The 1976, I'm assuming, is referring to the year that Dr. J won the slam dunk contest in the American Basketball Association League, which was an old league that was dissolved, I think, that same year. Okay, moving on.
On your feet, soldier. Take me home to Ladderbrook.
What are you watching?
So apparently Mother's Milk is a fan of Outlander. That's kind of an odd choice for him. Isn't that like a super white show? I don't know. Mother's Milk kind of seems to be an anomaly to me anyway, so that didn't really surprise me. I thought it was fairly obvious that this was an AOC clone, a Democratic congresswoman. In fact, I don't think I have to tell any Republicans who she is because they obsessed with this woman.
Гамильтон никогда не был пуэрториканцем.
Это твои дела. Это метафора для опыта иммигрантов в Америке.
Но он белый, чувак, белый.
Okay, in this scene, these Russian thugs are obviously talking about Hamilton. They're discussing the fact that Hamilton, yes, was a white guy, not Puerto Rican. And these other guys are trying to explain to this one guy how, no, it's a metaphor or whatever. I thought that was kind of funny that some Russian mobsters would be arguing about Hamilton. And this shot, I thought it was significant because it was obviously the same rationale we used to go to war with Iraq. Now, during Starlight's investigation of Stormfront, we see this Sage Grove. Now, from what I've been able to learn, both from the episode and from outside sources, is Sage Grove is a psychiatric hospital. Now, we see Stormfront on the phone early in the episode talking to somebody at the hospital about a 17-year-old boy. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Apparently is some kind of relative of Stormfront. We don't really know, but that's what Sage Grove is. She's getting emails about it from this psychiatric hospital concerning somebody she knows there. And here is a book from this Scientology clone, Church of the Collective. I thought it was noteworthy Easter egg because it looks like that Dianetics book that Scientology puts out is obviously a ripoff of that book. So that's about it. That's about all the Easter eggs I could find during this episode. I hope you enjoyed that. Join me next week where we'll be recapping the next episode. Tell me down in the comments whether I missed anything, because there's always something that I missed that somebody smarter than me picks up. So let me know in the comments. I'd like to thank my subscribers once again. Encourage you to subscribe if you haven't already. Ring that bell so you know when my next video drops. Give me a like, give me a dislike, or any kind of comment, even if it's not to do with the show. Just tell me, I don't know. Tell me what you've been doing this weekend. I don't care. I will respond to you if you make a comment. So until next time, I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.